question. Since I'm from India, I want to ask you something. Like, if Mission Impossible were to shoot in India, is there a specific location that you would like to shoot in, or some cultural element that you would like to focus on?
Oh wow, I've never been to India. I would love the opportunity to work there. I love Indian food. We have some incredible Indian restaurants in London. Where do you think would Mission Impossible work well in India? Whereabouts?
Okay, we recently had a flash one. It felt like Fallout, but ideally it should be New Delhi, where I am from.
Okay, okay, there it is. We'll say New Delhi.
And as a fan of the franchise yourself, what does it mean for you to be part of this, franchise? Where it has been defined by these jaw-dropping stunts. So,
Mm.
what was it for you to be part of this franchise?
Well, Chris McQuarrie had seen me in a play. It will be about 13 years ago now. And, that's my background is classical theatre. And I'd done a little bit of stunt work before in the Marvel franchise, but this was very different. And so when I met Tom and McHugh for the screen test for this, there was, of course, the acting, the dialogue scene that I had to learn, and we were interpreting it in different ways and trying lots of different things and improvising with the text. And then there was a fight sequence test to see my natural ability and my level of fitness, and to also kind of give them an idea of where they knew I could get to if I had a certain amount of training. And in that, it was sort of discovering where my natural skill set was and what interested me. So we learned pretty quickly that I loved working with props, knives, sleight of hand. She became a thief based on understanding how I like to move my body with props. And then things like drifting in a car, that was something that I really loved doing. So it created more of that for my character to do and put it in the story of Dead Reckoning. And so really it's about sort of, they'd said, we're not looking for an actor to fit into a character or to fit into the story. We're looking for an actor that we want to work with, and then we'll create the story and the character with them in mind and around them. So it felt like a very bespoke, collaborative process. And I think this film is a accumulation of all the missions that have gone together in terms of its ambition and what it sets out to achieve emotionally with all the characters.
Yeah, and so as I said, you have been part of franchises before. So, what is the most exciting aspects of being part of these, expansive universes?
Well, I think every job for me is different, and it's always the people. I've just finished doing a Shakespeare play in London, and now I'm promoting a franchise. So for me, the variety is the thing that excites me the most as an actor, and the opportunity to explore my own range and to push myself physically and mentally. And with a franchise like this, you have someone Tom Cruise at the helm of this, an unparalleled stuntsman and movie star and film producer that really cares about his ensemble of actors and members of the crew and wants us all to excel and to thrive. So he's looking at ways that he can support us actively doing that. So it's a kind of like an unparalleled work ethic that I love in these movies, and something that I will continue to take with me in every job that I do. It's the thing that gives me the most kind of excitement, is the challenge and the discipline and the focus that it takes to execute these films well, all for the sake of delighting the audience.
Yeah, and just wanted to quickly ask you last question. What's the most classic Tom Cruise thing you have ever seen him do, or both on set or off set?
Well, I think it's his ability to, how spatially aware he is, and how he can be focused very intensely in the scene, but yet you also know that he can see through the lens what is picking up on the camera. He knows where the focus puller is. He knows what the lighting is doing. If someone sneezes at the back of the set, he'll bless them and ask them they're okay. Like, his ability to be an actor and a producer and a writer and a director and a lighting designer and a focus puller and a cameraman all at the same time, I think is also, you can see it in these sequences here on the biplane. He was up there piloting the plane himself, obviously, and he was performing on the wing, and he is the only one really who can be aware of what the camera's going to pick up and where the light is going to be and how much he needs to kind of position himself so the camera can see his performance. So it's that feels very Tom Cruise to me. He's a one-man studio.
Yeah. Thank
Thank you.
Yeah, that's a very great answer.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. So that was it. Nice talking to you, and best of luck on this film.
Thank you, Ravi. Have a nice day.
Yeah, thank you. So I have to tell you, Erica Sloan was one of my favorite characters from Fallout, and I was so glad to see you back in this film as well. I just want, firstly, and as a fan of your work, I've seen many of your films. I want to ask you, you have been part of multiple franchises. You have from Marvel to Mission Impossible. How do you approach playing characters in these large scale universes compared to the more grounded dramatic roles?
I know. When you say that, and thinking about these worlds, I think. Well, I know for sure. I didn't go in thinking, larger than life or cartoon or incredible worlds, but just always grounded the way I would approach other characters, be it Tina Turner or Rosa Parks, other characters I've had a chance to play, and I think maybe that's why it's connected in the way that it has. So far so good. It's working in my favor, and it's working for audiences in particular. So
Yes, and talking about your return to the franchise, did the scale of this franchise, it has definitely grown. Did it surprise you when you did Fallout to as compared to now?
um, well, I think it was this one. I think the last one, yeah, the scale of it, this last particular one, even larger than the other. But you can't think about all of that. You just have to think about be in the moment of that particular day or that particular scene, and try to follow the trajectory of the story. The arc of the character and what she's trying to accomplish or to make happen. What's her objective in this scene? To save all of humanity.
Yes, yes, and in a franchise and known for its mostly male leads, how do
Mm.
you see Erica as a force within this franchise, and how does she navigate the world of intelligence?
Yeah, Erica, her world is, when we find ourselves in that war room, yeah, she's surrounded by all of these male colleagues and advisors, but she does have right there at her right, her girl, and between the two of them, I think they've been a source of support for one another, in this male-dominated world and the noise there. I think they bounce off of each other. Uh, check in, and encourage one another. Um, but I love the other worlds too, because we're not just the worrying wife at home or the girlfriend, but women in this world, in this mission world, we're intuitive, intelligent, we have a great deal of integrity, and then there are others of us who physically can kick as much butt, as the as the guys.
Yes, yes. And talking about Tom Cruise, he has been leading this franchise since the first one. So it's a fun question I wanted to ask you. What's the most classic Tom Cruise thing, he has ever done, both on set or off set?
Ooh, ooh. You know, on set, I remember seeing the movie or seeing all his movies and commenting, boy, that guy can run. you know? So I know there are all the big, crazy stunts that he does, but I really just love to see him sprint, nonstop. And on stage, the most Tom Cruise thing he's done, well, we know he's a pretty good dancer, good dance partner. So his birthday occurred while we were working, and we were able to get him to give us a few steps here and there.
Yeah, I would love to see that.
Yeah, that was fun.
Yeah. So that was it. Thank you, Angela, for talking to me. And again, a big fan of your work and the franchise as well.
Thank you so much, Ravi.
Thank you. Simon.
Hi.
Hi, Simon.
Just
Hi,
Simon,
Pom.
not us?
I'm going to say hi, Pom, and hi, Tarzan. I'm Ravi from PTI India, and I'm a big fan of this franchise. So, Simon, I want to start with you.
Yeah.
If Pom doesn't mind. Yeah, but after Tom Cruise, I would say you are the veteran of this franchise. So my question is that you have been with working in this franchise since MI3. So what does this journey mean to you? On both on a personal and professional level.
Oh man, it's been such an amazing 20 years. I filmed my first scene for Mission Impossible 20 years ago this year. And yeah, I know, it makes me feel old, because I am. But I think about the journey from Benji in Mission Impossible 3 to Benji in Final Reckoning, and if you put those two characters together, you got two completely different people. And that's because he's grown, as a person and as an agent. And I have as well, just getting to be part of these films and see how they're made and meeting people that have changed my life, so I feel very grateful.
Yeah, and Pom, I've loved your work in this franchise. You were badass in both the movies, and similarly, you were badass in Marvel movies as well. So when it comes to doing these stunts, what is the most fun aspect of it? Being in these big budget action movies.
I mean, the best in this franchise is that I get to do everything myself, all the fighting myself, and we have the time to really push ourselves and train and work in detail and get the best performance, the best physical performance ever. So I feel really grateful for that. And we're helped by an amazing crew, an amazing team of stuntmen with Wade Eastwood leading it. And so many memories, bruises, being sore and all that, but it's part of the fun too. And we got to shoot some amazing fights together too, mm-hmm. So that was cool.
Yeah, and Tarzan, I was going to ask you, for you, you have worked with Tom Cruise before as well. Mm. So, how has been your experience? You had two different kind of movies. One was Top Gun Maverick and, Mission Impossible. How was your experience working with Tom Cruise, and, what have you learned from him?
The experience is honestly the same. Tom brings his best foot forward in everything that he does, and he demands a certain type of excellence and hard work. And I seen it. It was cool to be able to see it through both projects. You know what I mean? Sometimes somebody might slack off, but he embraces the fandom and what the audience wants to see, and he gives his all to it. What I learned from it is understanding how an audience views film and storytelling, and working with McHugh as well. I'm looking forward to taking all the knowledge of this Tom Cruise school of filmmaking and applying it to my own projects in the future.
Yeah, and since I'm from India, I want to ask you this question. If Mission Impossible, though the franchise has wrapped, but if it were to shoot in India, is there a specific location in mind for you guys?
I was really disappointed when we did Ghost Protocol, because there was a section of Ghost Protocol which was set in India. And I know Tom went out there and he had some amazing pictures taken next to the Taj Mahal. And India is a place I've always really wanted to go to. But I mean, whether it's the city or the countryside, which is so dramatic, whether it's like the beach in Goa I just love to go there. Mm-hmm. Maybe a car chase through Mumbai would be pretty cool.
God.
That would be cool.
That would be insane.
Is it possible to have a car chase in Mumbai, or would it just be like a traffic jam?
Yeah,
motorcycle chase.
It would have to be.
They have a lot of motorcycles there too.
Yeah, scooter chase.
It would be a nice foot chase, though.
What about elephants? I want to ride an elephant. No, maybe I shouldn't do that.
An elephant chase? Oh no, I don't know if that's right.
No, my dream is to swim with an elephant.
Ah.
And mine is to ride on a dolphin.
And mine is to
all these
survive in the water.
On land.
Yeah, and since I've talked about Tom Cruise as well, what's the most classic Tom Cruise thing you have ever seen him do, both on or off set?
We had a day when we were filming in South Africa, and we were doing a drive up this big long road, and the helicopter would follow us up the road filming us, and then we'd get to the top, and we'd all jump in the helicopter, and Tom would fly us back down to the
Oh my God, yes.
back to number ones, and then we'd do the shot again. And we did it about 5 or 6 times. We got the shot, and we had a little bit of time left in the day, and Tom said, hey, do you want to go diving with sharks? And we said, sure. And so we all got in the helicopter with Tom. We went out to the coast, and the next thing we knew it, me, Pom, Tarzan, Hayley, and Tom were all in a cage feeding these giant 8-foot copperhead sharks. That is a typical Tom Cruise day.
Yeah.
Yes.
So much fun.
Yeah. So I think my time is over, but thank you very much for talking to me. And again, a huge fan.
Thank
Thank you,
you.
man.
you.
Good to speak to you.
Thank you.
Bye.
Ravi,
Hi, Esai.
How are
I
you?
just heard that you don't know Hindi. I can teach you one line if you want.
I just have to remember it. Talk to me.
Aap kaise hain?
Aap kaise hai? Or te?
Oh, you nailed it.
Aap
In
kaise
first
hai?
tense.
Which means, how are you?
Yes.
Okay, wow. Thank you.
Yeah.
You know, I have
Yeah.
a dear friend, one of my dear friends is Guju from Gujarat.
Oh,
Yes.
nice.
Where are you
nice
from?
to know that. I'm from Delhi.
Delhi, of course. Wow.
Yeah.
New Delhi.
Yeah.
I'd love
So,
to go.
Esai,
I may go there soon, by the way. I just want to say I may go there this summer. If the stars aligned, I will go there soon. It's
yeah,
a
we'd
bucket
love
list.
to have you. Given the work you have done in this movie, I'm a fan.
Oh, thank you so much.
Yeah. So Esai, I'll start the interview by asking, I loved your performance in this movie and in the earlier one as well. Gabriel is one of my favorite villains in the whole franchise now. So, how does one go about playing a, compelling villain who can stand up to Tom Cruise, Ethan Hunt? That's the first question.
That's a good one. How does one go about it? It takes a lifetime of watching the human condition in order to create a character where you borrow from yourself and you add and subtract other elements. And it's almost like a Frankenstein, where you have pieces and you put them together in a way that's credible and that you appreciate. It means a lot to me, because not everyone gets what you intend to do. So my job isn't to make it obvious. My job is to terrify. My job is to make you not want to encounter someone like this in real life. So I take account of what it is that scares me, what it is that makes me scary, and I apply it. And sometimes the scariest people aren't the ones that yell or threaten. It's this cool, dissociated psychopathy that is intelligent and determined. And it's this kind of like determined insanity. It's the last thing you want coming after you.
Yeah, and I get the chills right now, the way you just gave that answer. Another thing I want to know that, what has been your takeaways, after working with a superstar like Tom Cruise?
Well, my takeaways are many. But if I may think about what the most are is, my hat's off. I have to respect the filmmakers, which obviously include Tom and McHugh, the incredible director. There's nothing they won't tackle. There's nothing they won't consider, at least, to bring joy and thrills to their audiences. So you're talking about two people who've combined their efforts and created, I guess, a team that will spare no expense. I'm sure Paramount executives will tell you. And the joy that they take in creating joy for their audiences is infectious. There were times where Tom would screen a behind-the-scenes promo for the main cast that he'd get together and in these bonding moments, which are really, really nice, especially when you work so hard. It's nice to, have a dinner party, and then he'd say, I've got a surprise for you, and we'd watch this massive screen. And at the end of this, you see this little boy emerge from him, this joy. And he says,
Yeah.
he has this, iconic, like, isn't that great? And it's so infectious. And you really see that these folks live for their audiences. They live to entertain and hopefully enlighten, but mostly entertain. We have hard lives, and we go to the movies to travel where we can't travel, to experience what we normally can't experience. So filming is kind of like creating another world that other people can tap into. And especially when you see it in IMAX, it's an immersive experience. You're there, and it's all around you. And every frame is designed to serve the story. And in certain cases, there are little clues here and there that I think the audience will find fun, And in this case, the great part is that you see him evolve. You see him from this cheeky young agent. As I go back and you see him literally cheeky. He's like a kid in the beginning of this, into this weathered and,
Battered as well.
This person with every line in your face is a story. It's the difference. I think women will tell you that they appreciate the older men in their lives for the gray hair and the lines on their faces, as opposed to where most people hide from these things. We earn all of those through experience. We learn the weathered look. His character, especially Ethan, has gone through so much, and you see it from beginning to end in this, that we don't even know if it's the end. Let's just say it's the final reckoning, maybe, or maybe not. That's the thing. You never know. But I'll tell you one thing. If you love these movies, if you love this experience, and you go and you get your friends to go, it's likely that it won't be the last. That's not official. That's just me going, how could it be? If the people want it, they will make it for you.
Yes. That's a really, really nice answer. Well thought.
Thank you.
Thoughtful one.